All right, so doing a little work on chart density, and I'm just going to talk about a quick design decision. So what I've done, and also talk about this dynamic menu here, something I've figured out a little bit through the help of this article on Ontour Solutions blog, creating a dynamic navigation menu. So what we have. When we're on chart density, this will not be our home page, so this is going to go away. If we go to data sets, our home page will look something like this. This will be all our data sets, and right now this is the dynamic data set menu, which I'll show you. In Share Components, we've created a dynamic list. And we basically use the example here. I have added the request to the address, and not sure I should be using my request. The passing around the dataset ID as the request header. Probably might want to use that for something else at some point, so that probably needs to change to a field. So one thing it comes up is that things like alarms. So alarms could apply to every data set, some subset of data sets, a superset, or may belong to a data set. So it's important to distinguish, over here on the menu, that this is a data set alarm, not when we're on the main page. Actually, this is so I'm going into a data set right now. And now we're in the context of a data set. We'd have data set settings, data set contacts, data set charts, and data set alarms. I'll go back to this page. This menu would actually just say alarms, because now the context is all data sets. And I just haven't updated this menu yet. I'm going to create it. It's just a placeholder. And a lot of these things are just helping me think through the UI design. So one thing I'm seeing right now is I really don't like seeing the word data set so many times. This just looks really ugly. So one solution would be to make it a data set, and then have under data set have submenu settings, contacts, charts, alarms. That might work a little better. But if you're constantly having to open that, then that's a problem. If it's always open and data set is really the only context here, it may be the only thing on the menu, and then you're kind of saying, well, I need something else on the menu, so maybe you put something there that doesn't really need to be there, but you put it there anyway. So what that got me thinking is, what we're probably going to do is, when we're in the context of a data set, we are not going to have this here. We'll have something at the top. So we'll have a settings, contacts, charts, alarms, some kind of menu bar up here that sets the context for what's here, and we won't have this, or we'll have something else there. So what happens here when we're on this page and we click this is, in this link we are setting the request header to the ID of the data set, and so that gets passed to the data sets page. So that's the data sets page, passes request header to data set, and then we know what data set to load. And then when I click settings, I am using that dynamic link to pass that header to this page, so that that shows up. And I notice my save button's disappeared. I'll need to fix that. Anyway, so just stubbing everything out, and going back to my PowerPoint here with kind of looking, am I capturing the things that I need to capture? Am I navigating the way I want to navigate? Not getting too deep. Also, creating a lot of notes. So you gotta have somewhere to put your notes. So what I'm doing is I have an app-to-do.md, which I can throw things in that are kind of more generic. And then also using, if we go within the app, I started doing this just because sometimes I'm on a page, I'm like, I'll just throw this in the page, and that might be a good place to put things. So we can do search app for to-do, and these are in the page comments. So that might be a helpful way to kind of jot your notes down as you go, things you want to do, and all that. So the thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this content here and turn this into a view. This is not, I'm not going to have the actual SQL and things like that, and probably change the name of the table and some of the columns, and just kind of make it a little bit more, make it more in line with K2 and with ChartDensity. And I'm just going to put that in here for now. I'm not sure that I'll use this a lot between apps, but if I do, then it'll eventually maybe go into K2 as a little API for dynamic menus that you can use. So, all right. Well, I'm going to keep plugging away. Thanks for watching.